When I started to write Way Up, it was an attempt of me trying to go back to my music and style that always came naturally and easily to me, despite my telling me to not go that direction. I just needed a break and give myself the chance to write songs that felt like me again. Usually writing songs like these always came easy and I would always just enjoy the process, but at that time it didn't, and it really scared me how I couldn't even go back to the way I used to be.
I'm gonna just go all in. I think this song is good. Fuck. Like, I can't. Dude, ever since people have been like telling me that 이거 혹은 조금 임팩트가 없는데, like, 내 귀에 의심이. No. Stop.
If I was trying to write a song that was a new genre or a new style that I never tried before, I felt like it's obvious for me to kind of struggle for a bit, but this case was different. This case, it's the kind of music that I've always done. Like, it was like, it's hard going this way, it's hard going this way because all of their new paths. So let me just try and go back. But I couldn't even go back. I was like reverting and I was like, what is wrong with me? I just felt like I was glitching. I was tweaking. I just froze. Just terrified to accept that I completely lost myself. Like, I couldn't even write songs, period. I thought to myself, now, even if I'm trying to write songs that feels true to me, I can't even go a second without anxiety, and I can't make a confident assessment on what sounds good, even if I used to be decent at this. I couldn't music. I was just numb. At first, I trusted my instincts and continued to advocate for my sound in the direction that I wanted to take with my music. However, regardless of that confidence, my artistry was still in its early stages, making it relatively fragile. And I was just beginning to put myself more out there as an artist, and it was more than I could bear, more than I was used to. So even if it was a passing remark, hearing and seeing unimpressed reactions or comments repeatedly from the people who are within the environment that I deemed as a professional environment, I didn't know how to take it in a healthy way. Not that I will defend and say these entities also provided me these comments in a healthy way as well, but because of that, it made it extremely hard for me to maintain the confidence that I initially had.
My initial plan was to just do this 이거 데모 작업 들어가려고 했는데요. 안 되겠어요. 반응이 너무 안 좋고, like 아무도 아무 말을 안 했어요. like 아무도 나쁜 말을 안 했습니다. 다들 좋은 분들이세요. 근데 me myself overthinking 해서 판단을 내렸습니다. This is not good. This is just not good. It's just mid, and I don't want it to be mid. I want it to be good. Actually, said it's mid. Insert screenshot. Sound effect. Boom. Insert screenshot of him saying 코러스가 임팩트가 없네. Boom. It's okay. I like it. 뭐 sidetrack으로 하면 되지. If I like it, you know. No need to take offense to it. But I want this song to be good. So 솔직히 이거 보낸 거에도 내가 생각했던 느낌을 완전히 못 담았다고 생각도 해서 그 완전히 녹음 정리 가사도 하고 그 곡 구성도 조금 어느 정도 정리해서 들려드리면 maybe he'll think a little bit differently. Maybe and maybe not. So just to be safe and not waste anyone's time, I made a list of references, and then after that, like these are all the references of existing songs that I like, and then now I have like 흥얼거렸잖아요. 흥얼거린 거에서 I like tied it down to 4 songs. Don't look at my nails. To 4 songs that is like decently good. 그 4개를 좀 제대로 like 깨끗이 해서 가면 정리가 된 느낌으로 이렇게 들리니까 인스트 작업하는데 it's like very helpful. So 내가 최대한 정리를 해가는 게 세션에 제일 빠른 결과가 나올 수 있으니까 I will do that today. I will organize all 4 of these. It's called I don't have like a official title, but 1 Know Better, 2 Easy, 3 Last Night, 4 Wait Up. Yeah. 거기에서 나온 멜로디를 정리하는 거죠. Yes. 지금은 침대에 잠깐 쉬고 있습니다. 힘들어요. 훅이 제일 힘들어요. 훅이 제일 힘들어요.
Now I understand that I should never blatantly give more weight to words and comments and reactions simply because it's from someone in a position of authority or just, you know, someone who I put on a pedestal. I should never do that. At the time, it was just overall difficult for me to process all these thoughts in a healthy way. In my head, I was like, these people are older than me, has a little bit more, some people has a little bit more experience than me, some has way more experience than me in the music industry. Obviously, I should shut the fuck up and listen. Like, that was my thought process. I felt so small compared to them. And because of that, I questioned my own perspective thinking. I was thinking, who am I to even make an assessment on my music, stating that it's good? Who the fuck am I? I'm no one. And I was like, how dare I reduce their comments to mere suggestions? I should just completely, fully embrace the comments that they made. And I didn't even take a second to think, okay, are these criticisms or are these critiques? Are these opinions or are these facts? Are these feedbacks or are they just harassment? And I didn't even question it. I just went straight into, yes, sir, you are correct. I think otherwise, but that doesn't matter. As a result, I had blindly absorbed every criticism, feedback, response, whatever that was said and shown about my creations.
Said, 코러스가 임팩트가 없네. boom. 스크린샷 boom. easy listening가 목표야 boom. I mean, I don't really have a goal, but like, I didn't think it was like easy listening. It's okay. 그런 피드백 너무 좋아요. And then 목표가 그냥 중독성 있는 곡이요. And then he was like, 지금 멜로디는 엣지가 안 나와서. Boom! You know the sound effect, like dum dum dum. But okay, I understand. I listened to it again and again, and I heard where he's coming from. So I'm gonna 좀 몇 시간을 좀 더 해볼게요. 아이디어를 좀 더. Good. That's my plan for tonight. We don't sleep until we do that. It's currently 7:34. I'm gonna go eat. And then I'll be RB to work. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. 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 Bye.
over time, I even questioned if I had been using my artistry as an excuse to justify making bad music. But a side of me was like, I swear to God, I'm not crazy. My music is decent. It's good. I think it's good. And it didn't help. It's not their fault, but it didn't help that when I tried to consult this concern of anxiety around my creations with my parents, they basically told me to shut the fuck up and just listen to them. They were like, Ailyn, I think they know what they're saying. Just listen to them. Which I understand their perspective. Like, as a parent, they don't really know of this industry. Like, it's really not their fault. Because someone said to me, they explained it to me in this way. Like, if your daughter or son wanted to go into, I don't know, the cooking industry, the food industry as a chef, you know nothing about cooking like that. But then suddenly, like, someone like Gordon Ramsay comes and is like, I will take your daughter and turn her into a high-end chef or whatever. I don't know the terms for the cook industry. I'm so sorry. Gordon Ramsay takes my daughter, and then my daughter comes to me and she's like, I don't know anymore. I can't trust my own taste buds because they said this, that, this, and about my cooking, and now I don't know. Then, yes, I would not question what Gordon Ramsay said. Yeah, I wouldn't second guess what Gordon Ramsay said to be wrong. I would be like, he probably knows what he's talking about. At the same time, we're leaving out the parts where maybe Gordon Ramsay is like focusing on making my daughter into an Italian first-class chef, while my daughter wants to be like first-class chef for Korean foods. Then obviously we're talking about different things here, right? That's kind of my case. Was what my dearest friend, producer, kind of like explained it as? He explained it better than I did, I think. But I hope this makes sense. This kind of made me understand the perspective of my parents, so I don't blame them. But I will say it didn't help when they put that additional layer of like, maybe you should just shut the fuck up and just like listen to them. So my confidence was like... like they pulled the whole you're too young to understand, you're too inexperienced and young to know better card on me. Yeah. This situation just made me spiral into insane deep self-doubt. It just left me unsure of my own creative identity. It was very heartbreaking. Tragic.
Hi, I tied my hair up. I just decided to move on. Cause I was like just stuck. Yeah, I was stuck in the same thing. Like I was just kind of like done. I think I was like overthinking everything, and honestly, it's never a good thing. Yeah, it's never a good thing to overthink everything. So right now, we're looking at the amazing files of old songs that I'm still developing. Okay. Yeah. And we're going to... This was the one that like got me a little bit like hyped up in the morning. So let me just take a listen to that. I'll do that later. Okay, back to business.
You can see in the videos that I keep second guessing myself. I keep moving back and forth from different songs because like I keep getting stuck on certain like areas, and like it's just my whole creative process was ruined from self-doubt. The way I viewed my artworks were very toxic, and I just ruined so many parts of me. It ruined my relationship with my art. It ruined my relationship with myself. It just tore apart a lot of important aspects in my life. So it was just an interesting moment where I learned a lot about myself. The ideation process in music is not very different from painting or fine arts. Actually, I'd say it's pretty much the same. Obviously, the sketching stage is going to be messy. It's always going to be rough. At its core, sketching is all about getting the idea down and putting it at a state where it's developable to its fullest potential. And the way we polish the sketch is all about the depth of contrast that we bring, the different techniques that we want to apply, and that's all up to the style and the taste of that artist. The depth of contrast, it comes through the different ways that we highlight the main idea by darkening other areas. That whole process is when you become creative. But when it's led by fear and doubt, you can't ever go to the next step. You just stay stuck. You have to accept the process of being bad to be good. But I couldn't even move on because I just hated everything. I was just a cloud of negativity, and that's never good. I knew that art has its trust the process kind of stage with sketching, but I never realized that for music for some reason. I don't know. In music, like I always did the sketching process and then like developing it, but I never like realized that I'm doing it. It took me a while to realize that with music, you also really have to trust the process. And I think I didn't realize this mostly because I just didn't really know the specific processes it takes to fully polish and finish a song. If I tell you what I didn't know, you might think I'm just crazy for trying to even like attempt at this like music thing. Thankfully, I'm learning, and I've learned. I'm still learning, but I've learned a lot. I sound so stupid. I think it's been this way because I've always wrote my songs with my voice as the main instruments and using Logic, MIDI producing with basic knowledge. I never really opened myself up to the opportunity of learning more. I'm glad that I've learned, and I'm glad that I now know the significance of trusting the process in music, because this made me realize that everyone will have a different level of knowledge that will influence the way that they perceive a sketch or a demo. I know that was a long sentence, I'm sorry. I can't expect someone to be able to see the final product the way that I do when they are someone who doesn't have the same knowledge, the same perspective as I do. Other people will always lack a bit of something that prohibits them from understanding the full potential of something. And I feel like looking back, that was just the case for me. We just had very, very dividing perspectives when it comes to music. Not only that, we also had different intentions when it comes to music. So that divide itself just didn't help with overcoming the first stage of music, which is very important. I feel like sketching and getting the idea down is the most important stage, because everything else is about technique, and that's like where you could use technique to amplify your creative ideas. But at its core, the foundation is the idea, and that's why it's so important. But I couldn't even overcome that because I had a small bubble of people where they just all didn't really believe in it the way that I do. And there's nothing wrong with that. We had different ways of seeing and perceiving things, and it's just, that's okay. But at the time, I didn't know that. So now, when I listen to the demo version of 𝙂𝘼𝐼𝙋, I'm just super excited to have an idea that has a clear direction towards the final form of where I want it to be. It's just a matter of time to build up its quality while also compacting my vision into it. And actually, like, the demo is currently under construction to become a polished song. I keep comforting myself by saying eventually it will see the day of light, but obviously there are moments where I get really impatient because I am still stuck in a sticky situation where I don't think it's very ideal to just release. So I'm just waiting for that day, and hopefully one day this video will just kind of give you a little fun backstory behind that song. I know I do a lot of yapping here and not enough of singing. I really want it to be the opposite way around, where I'm doing more singing and less yapping, or a balance where I equally do the same amount. But just be a bit patient with me. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, the few of you who always comment and listen regardless of what the content is. Thank you. I'm doing mixtapes and cool stuff, and yeah, try to make the best of this kind of pause in my life. Yeah, it just feels like a pause in my life. but I'm trying to not make it a pause. I like have this really bad way of thinking of like, oh, if I don't have the result, like the final product in front of me right now in my two eyes, I just made no progress. Like I feel that way, but I need to keep reminding myself, like as long as I keep working, like I keep working and stacking up demos, eventually they will someday be out. I need to calm the fuck down, bruh. But this failure, this moment of time in my life is just a great curveball that life threw at me, and just a great learning point. Now I know how to take criticism and critique and how to filter out what is just noise that I don't need. In addition to that, I also know now that art should never ever be driven from fear and doubt. Because once your art begins to be driven by fear or self-doubt, then it's gonna feel and look completely different when it looks the same. So the state of mind is super important when it comes to that process. If we can't get past this negative feeling that we have towards like a rough sketch or like a demo, then we're really not being efficient here. Because we will never reach a point where we can develop the idea. And the idea, you never know if it's great until you try to develop it. And if we can't get past our negative perception of it that is driven by feelings, then we'll never reach a point where we could give the idea a chance to become something at all. What if we're missing out on something great? So Ailym, never look for the not enoughs or the too muches when you're in your creative process. Only do that when it is time to do that. There is a step for a reason, and your creative process should never begin with that, or, at least be influenced by that. Until then, just enjoy being not enough of something or too much of something. And so what if it's too me? The fuck? Anyways, I love you guys, and this was Gap Year Diary 3.